Hey guys, I'm Nisa Homey and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm sharing my husband's healthy lunchbox recipe for Tuesday. I have already shared Monday's lunchbox recipe. You can find it in the playlist titled Husband's Lunchbox Ideas, or you can check the link above the title of this video. So without wasting much time, let's get started with the recipe. So on Monday morning, I had made aloo sabji and I had some leftover which I stored in the fridge. Tuesday morning, as soon as I got up, I placed the aloo sabji and the atta dough which was stored in the fridge outside on the kitchen counter. This is to help both the ingredients come to room temperature. So guys, do remember this, especially if you have pre-made atta dough in the fridge. Otherwise, the dough will be quite hard and may be difficult to work with. Note that I'm also preparing lunchbox meal for my teenage son. So what I'm doing now is I'm quickly mashing the potatoes with a fork, or you can use your hand, whichever is easy for you. And yes, eventually I used my hands. Pinch off a lemon-sized ball from the atta dough and coat the dough with the wheat flour and flatten it with your fingers as I'm showing. The center part should be thick and the sides should be thinner. This is which prevents stuffed paratha from breaking out too much. It does break a little here and there, but when you do this, it doesn't break out too much. So guys, do remember this tip when you are making stuffed paratha. Okay, once it is done, place about 1.5 tablespoon of the mashed aloo sabji inside the dough and press it down with the spoon and gather the ends together as I am showing. Now it is very important that you press down the filling with the back of your spoon, and now sprinkle some more whole wheat atta and then roll out into a round circle. Dust off excess flour and place on the hot tawa, and remember to keep the flame on the lowest. While it is getting cooked, make one more stuffed roti in the same way. Remember that the sides should be thinner and the center should be thick. Now roll out into a circle and keep it aside. Meanwhile, you can flip the roti on the tawa and allow it to cook on both sides. Cook both sides on low flame, and once the paratha is lightly cooked on both sides, add in 1/4 teaspoon desi ghee and spread over the roti. Flip it once more and again add in 1/4 teaspoon desi ghee and spread it all over the roti. Now flip it again and press down with a spatula and again flip it a couple of times, and once the paratha is nicely cooked on both sides, I remove it from the tawa. And then what I usually do is I place the paratha on a katori as I'm showing in the video, and what this does is it prevents the roti or paratha from getting soggy from the moisture. So you may have noticed that the last roti or paratha which is on the plate will have some moisture, and usually the last one will be slightly soggy. So here in this case, if I put the hot roti directly in the tiffin box, the moisture from the heat will be at the bottom of the tiffin box and on the lid of the tiffin box, which eventually will wet the paratha. So it's always a good option to allow the roti to cool down like this and then place it in the lunch box. You can also do this method when you're making plain whole wheat roti. And now the second paratha is also ready. My kids call this paratha Amma's special masala aloo paratha, and it's a big hit among my son's friends. So I always make sure that my son has a couple of extra aloo parathas to share with his friends. Also, if making for teenagers, make slightly larger paratha and also add little more extra ghee. Teenage children do need that extra desi ghee for their growth and nourishment. And guys, I also forgot to mention that you can add in a big fat pinch of ajwain while making the roti dough. It gives a nice flavor to the paratha. Now what happens when you have a couple of extra parathas? What I usually do is I make the paratha and I lightly cook both sides, and once it is half cooked, I then remove it from the tawa and then I place it on a cotton cloth. Now this way, once cooled down, the paratha can be stored in the fridge. So this is also a great way to meal prep, like half cooking the parathas and then allowing it to cool down and wrapping it in a cotton cloth, and then you can keep it in the fridge. So the next day all you have to do is just lightly heat up the paratha on both sides and then apply desi ghee, and that's also a very good meal prep option which sometimes I do. So this is one tip which sometimes helps me to make it easier to make lunchbox meals for both husband and son. Today I will be having one of the paratha for my lunch, and all I have to do is simply cook again on the hot tawa with little desi ghee, and I can have hot special masala aloo paratha for lunch. Now into the lunch box I'm adding in the 2 masala aloo paratha, and guys, always use a glass container or a steel tiffin box. Now as a side dish I have already grated 1 cucumber, and I'm making a quick cucumber raita by topping it with some home-set curd, a fat pinch of pink Himalayan salt, and a big fat pinch of roasted jeera powder. And Tuesday's healthy lunchbox is ready. Now some of you asked in comments on the last video, that is on Monday's lunchbox video, how to prevent curd from getting too sour. What you can do is you can avoid the salt and add in some milk, and by lunchtime curd will be set. Do not add too much milk. A couple of tablespoons of milk will be enough. And some of you also mentioned that your curd gets very sour. So what you can do is when you set the curd, make sure that you're using a fresh, clean and dry container each time. Don't make curd in the same container over and over. Now that will also make the curd go very sour pretty fast. I have already shared a video on how to make low-fat curd at home. You can check the video to understand more. So guys, don't forget to like, comment and share this video with family and friends. And hopefully I will be back tomorrow with Wednesday's lunchbox recipe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.